All right. GM. We are back. We are so back. It's Thursday, January 15th, and markets are looking good, man.
Right. I can't hear you, George. Or is it my end?
All right, we're back. We're back. Now we're back. You know what, man?
I thought it
Technology
was
is one of
my.
those things, man. Technology is always one of those things. It wants to do whatever it wants. All of this
Okay.
AI stuff, like forget the AI, man. I still need to figure out how to turn the microphone on when I go live. Bro,
God.
markets are turning around. It's starting to come back. We're coming back. We might not be looking at McDonald's applications this week. We might be looking at Lambos for next week. But how you feeling? How you doing, man? I hope you're not in jail right now. I hope you're like actually out and about.
No, I'm not. No, hopefully I'm not. We all going straight to jail soon, but I'm not yet in jail yet. But man, we've been good. We've been locked in. Like we never had like a single holiday. Since like the breakpoint, we've been locked in building games, and we're gonna talk a lot about our next game, jail, today. But it's coming now. God, can't give you the day, but yeah. You'll be having fun, yeah.
Awesome, man. It's really exciting to kind of like talk back about what 2025 worked and kind of like what 2026 looks like. But love to get it right into it and kind of just like ask you, like what's your mindset behind 2025? Addicted, you've built several games, you found product market fit. You've been talking a lot about it this past couple weeks. You've been talking about, hey, of course, the chain and the chain itself being a really big proponent to what you build and why, where you should build. Tell us about that really quickly. I've seen you talk a lot about, Solana being a great home for games, a really great home for just building a product. What's kind of really all that coming to?
Yeah, man. So I think like our main goal last year in 2025 was to actually make revenue. Because to give you a little bit of context, we've been building a bunch of games and consumer apps for the past 5 years. And for the first 4 years, we made zero money the whole time, dude. And we had no users, we had no revenue at all. It was just, it was like a really challenging time to figure out what we should actually build. So last year, we're like lock in, build like on single goal, which is like, let's just make money. Let's just try to build something that people want and make money. Yeah, like our first game, Infected, did really well. I think like the main thing was that we thought we were like really product focused for the first 4 years. Let's build a really challenging product. None of them work. And last year was that forget about all the technical stuff. What's the most crazy thing that we can do that goes viral? And idea was, let's spread A's on blockchain. And that went blow up. And yeah, we kind of found our niche, like super. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Or okay. We found our niche, which is hyper financialized simulation game. We kept building, and Addicted, I think, became the biggest crypto game of last year. We made 4 mil in revenue. This year's mindset is, for us, we found our niche, so let's make it a lot bigger. Because like compared to games on Ethereum like Axie Infinity, Addicted is fucking small. It's like peanut, you know. So yeah, that's what we're thinking now. Like we know what people want, so let's just scale it up and build way bigger product, way bigger games.
Yeah. Like, man, it's really awesome to hear like kind of like the success story and the failures, right? Because I mean, it's been several kind of like, let's just say, failures in the sense that got you to addicted, right? Trials and tribulations. I think a lot of entrepreneurs hate talking about like the road sometimes or the obstacles they face. But I think like behind any success story, there's a million failures, right? To get to that success story. What do you think was that like success, that true success, that recipe? Like, let me ask you, even this go further, right? Like, getting into gaming, getting into kind of like the DeFi aspect of it, getting into the gaming aspect of it. Where does that all come from you? Like where like your background, right? Like, was it you building traditional games before? Were you working in the DeFi sector to get to where Addicted is and what Addicted did? Like, tell us, like, man, kind of that road and how to got that, because we're definitely hearing you right now and like the success of that 4 million or 5 million that you made in 48 hours. It's pretty astonishing.
Yeah, man. It's been a journey. I guess, okay, a little bit about myself. I'm personally not a gamer at all. I don't play any games. I didn't play games growing up. So like when people ask me, because like they know me as a game creator, so like, hey, what kind of game you play? When you're small, it's like, dude, I was fucking playing basketball, whatever shit. Like I wasn't really playing games. But the reason why we went to a game sector was because that's what people wanted. I'll explain a little bit more in details. Basically, for the first 4 years, we were building prediction market. We were building like DAO tools. We were building like AI agents, like all the technical stuff. And dude, nobody wanted. And also another thing, like we were always like believing like program thesis of like good product brings users. That was our mindset. And dude, it does not work in 2025, 2026. Like you have to capture people's attention first before convincing them that it's a good product. That's kind of like how we got into gaming space, because people love games. People like when people see a cool game, instantly, it will make them feel like they have to try out, and yeah, like that's kind of like how we my co-founders, I have like two other co-founders and they're like a huge gamer, so like I'm talking about just myself, but yeah, that's kind of how we switch our focus from all the other consumer apps to gaming. And Addicted, like the metrics, we did 50 mil trading volume in 5 days. We got about 200,000 signups before launching the game, and we hit like about 26,000 active daily users at peak. We sold more than 200,000 packs a day, and yeah, made 4 mil in 2 days. Well, that's kind of the metrics we got from Addicted.
Yeah, no, love hearing the evolution of kind of Pandemic Labs and like going through different like projects that kind of got you guys to Addicted and having the success that that Addicted has. What do you think now, like going into the next game, Jail.fun? Like, first, like, how did you get to Jail.fun from Addicted, right? Like, gaming seems like is something that Pandemic Labs is going to double down on. And then after you getting into Jail.fun, tell me, like, what are you now looking for in the sense of metrics? You just spoke about a lot about metrics. Is it users? Is it revenue, on-chain transactions, retention? What is it going to be like your biggest, like for you guys internally or as a team, as a founder, co-founder, that you are very much like harping on in the background right now?
Yeah, great question. So us, Pandemic Lab, is a virality focused company. We are distribution focused company. So everything we do is to make virality. How we went viral with Addicted was a single concept: selling drugs on chain. That one liner basically captured everyone's mind. So once we finish Addicted, we're like, what's the craziest idea? What's the idea that's way more crazier than that? And I came up with the idea of, oh shit, What if you could live in prison and fucking drop soap to make money? That's it. That is fucking it. Yeah, that's how we got idea. We actually came up with all the idea and game mechanics within 3 days after finishing Addicted. And we went all in building, and yeah, we just finished our audit. We made announcement like 3 days ago. And also like I think you asked me about the metrics that we focus. We want to focus for jail, our next game, jail. Main thing is the I don't want to say sustainability, because like in my opinion, like what people want is a limited time seasonal game. All of the game is a limited game, like it's time-based game. But Addicted peaked too early. That was kind of our biggest learning. Addicted's coin, wheat token, peak 80 mil on day one. That's too big. That's too high for day one. In order to scale your game at the level of Axie Infinity or Steppen, you have to design healthy gradual growth rather than peaking on day one. So yeah, that's kind of the number of users and also the tokenomics and all that is the kind of the root causes of all this. So like we kind of improved a lot of these factors, but yeah, like try to keep growing the game that can last for like a minimum like 1 to 2 months. That's kind of like how we are trying to improve for our next game.
Yeah. And I think like, man, you know, I think you're at the point where you've been able to prove that you could ship a hit, you could do it. And now, you know, the success of it going into the next game. Do you think it's easier? It's harder? It's different? Do you have different do you feel the pressure of coming out with the next game and trying to figure out like, hey, you know, what does the success look like on this next title? You know, I think it's one of those things, you know, you just ended it with like, hey, like, you know, how does this now change Pandemic Labs, right? But now even further, like the pressure is on to perform even to the next level, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, man, dude. Like I'm fucking like I've been feeling pressure like every fucking single day. I haven't gone a day for like more than 3 months, dude. Like I'm fucking like being monk mode. Like I need to fuck girls, like literally. Um, but you know, I'm like 0-100 type guy. Like in order to because like addicted, like I've met more than like 50 addicted players at Breakpoint, and they seems like really enjoy playing game. But I know that addicted could have been way better. And I'm like, and also building these games, like we spend more than 100K just on like to build addicted, and like for jail, like it's costing us a lot more money than that. So like, and we are like independent company. We hate VC. Like we don't want VC money at all. So like there's a lot of pressure, you know, on my shoulder. But at the end of the day, we have to become the biggest crypto game studio. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know. And also I like this, so I just have to lock in.
Yeah. And look, the recent success with Addicted, I don't know how much can we speak on it. Cluey, you mentioned a possible acquisition or partnership with them.
Oh, that's a bullshit.
You know,
that I was just like rage baiting.
so you got us all then.
Yeah, the context is that the Cooley did fake news exactly the same way last year.
Okay.
That they acquired Windsurf when Windsurf was going, you know, south. So it was like, and also like right now, Cooley, a lot of employees are leaving Cooley. So like, okay, let's troll, like let's just like rage bait. Dude, we've been on trending news this literally today on X because of that tweet. But yeah, we were just like fucking around, like rage baiting Roy.
Well, you got me good because I was like, man, did these guys get really acquired already? Like, I thought this guy was just getting started, but good to know that you didn't. Look, talking about jailed, when are you thinking about is the expected, like, is it Q1 that jailed is coming, or is it Q2? What do we want to prepare for jailed? I mean, I think we saw the concept. Before I ask you the question, you've never dropped a soap, right? This isn't from experience.
Oh, great question. Have I dropped the soap? Maybe. No. I'm never drunk, so I'm not gonna drop soap, man. But in simulation game, dude, it's like addicted. Like I never run a drug farm or whatever shit. But in simulation world, you can do whatever you want. You can drop as many soap as you want. And also, like, I think you asked me about the timeline. So our whole goal for this year is to make bigger game, and the metrics that we focus on is last year we made 4 mil. This year we're gonna make 100 mil in revenue. That's kind of but like Axie is like 1.5 billion revenue in a year. So like we trying to kind of like keep growing our game studio size. And it's one of the milestones that we want to hit this year. And in order to hit that, like as I told you, we have to build more like we have to build a game that lasts longer. So we are dropping multiple phases rather than just one drop, like Addicted. And the biggest alpha that I'm dropping today is that something is going to drop next week. Yeah, that's the only thing that I can say.
So next week we all better make sure the notifications are on. You better still be trending. You better be trending. You better figure out how to go viral next week because this notification that you're telling us.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Like every single post I make is just like trolling everyone, even like a base thread. I don't even care about base. The reason why I did it is because I know that it goes viral. Like I'm trying, basically, like we've never spent money on paid marketing. We all want like what people want is organic virality, and yeah, like I'm just trying to get as many attention as possible before launching a game. That is why I'm saying crazy shit on Twitter for the past like 2 weeks. But dude, yeah, notification on, and also I am maybe we can talk a lot the details at the end of the stream, but like I can drop some invite codes to those who's watching now. But yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
You've several times you've mentioned a little bit about like your studio size and kind of like you and your co-founders, and you just mentioned now that like, hey, even in marketing you're not really kind of like spending. What do you think like what is the competitive advantage that you think you have right now trying to stay nimble while scaling? Because I mean that is just the toughest thing that most founders face, is trying to scale without spending more money, and you're very much kind of like saying you're doing that.
Our strength is really, really simple. Going viral, being able to go viral is the only thing that we are 100 times better than others. Because like, look, Jail, we went from 0 to 17,000 followers in the past 10 days, or like 15 days. And yeah, people, and also like I dropped a demo of the game like I think last week, where like you pick 2 prisoners. So the basically like and also like Addicted and the whole thing, like the concept, the launch videos, and all the marketing and stuff. Basically, we know we have a viral sense. We know what goes viral, and yeah, I think that's what differentiates us from everyone else.
So $1 million question then after that one. Do you already know what's the next game after Jail.fun, or
Oh,
are you
100%.
guys still
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much?
Well, I do have like I have millions of ideas, man. Because basically, what I do is to like I have a bunch of like crazy ideas that people want to see on a blockchain. Um, we pick jail, prison life, but dude, there's so many other crazy stuff that you want to simulate on the blockchain. 100%. But first, we gotta lock in on prison life, dropping soap.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned actually, like, games on blockchain. What do you think is the issue right now with blockchain gaming and like Web3 gaming, and the environment around it being kind of Web3 gaming is dead? I mean, I think like you bring up, like you're here building, you're very much doubling down on Web3 gaming. You're very much all in on Web3 gaming. What do you think is the mistake, or what does the space need to improve? Like, how do we get better? How do we grow? How do we go viral? What do you think is the missing ingredient in the space right now?
The most there's a single mistake that every single Web3 game builders are making, which is the lack of understanding on their users. Um, the most important people in crypto space is traders, DJs, but every single like Web3 game studio are saying like, hey, we're building for mainstream, we're building for people, normies, and basically they're building a Web2 game with digital collectibles. Nobody want that. In my opinion, like the reason why we've been doing really well is because we focus on really small set of passionate users and then expand from there rather than trying to target 10 100,000 like vague target. And also like like there's a bunch of things they're like making mistake at. The thing that makes blockchain game really fun is not the game itself. It's the liquidity. It's the financial assets and attention that you can bring to that game. Um, and because like blockchain is the financial rail, and if you're building a game on top of it, like you have to leverage that the strength of the blockchain. But I think it's just like um yeah, like there's like a lot of misunderstanding that they're having. But at the end of the day, they can do whatever they want. And in my opinion, like Addicted kind of like, dude, like there are quite many Web3 game studio reach out to us after Addicted because they saw how successful it when and yeah, we'll just like keep showing like how people should build games on a blockchain, and I think everyone will follow.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like we've seen the environment just really kind of be pretty bad right now, and games just haven't delivered as well, right? And I think sometimes maybe it's not going for the big picture and going for the small picture of maybe getting this beta or alpha, making sure that there's a product market fit. And I think one thing you mentioned here is again having make a financial instrument that is the blockchain that you're saying in games, like utilizing that correctly, like giving the people what they are almost coming for, wanting that they are in this space, right? And I think it kind of goes to me for the next question of how are you handling kind of all the community feedback? What do they want? What do you feel that is different this time with Jailed versus Addicted that you kind of really took back? Look, not talking about the hater stuff, right? Because
I
the
mean,
haters are always going to be there, but more talking on like how do you keep building to the next level?
yeah, I mean, I think hate and FUD is really important. And also like we always get that when you're building game, like when you're building anything on blockchain because it's related to it's a finance. But I think like the biggest thing that we're trying to improve with our next game, we're going to improve with our next game is the kind of the sustainability of the game. As I told you, Addicted only lasted for like a couple weeks because we peak on day one. And also like the game was designed in a way that people can just speculate on coin rather than actually playing the game to make money. And that's why it like skyrocketed too early, too fast. Everyone just went all in on the coin, a single coin. So what we're gonna do with our next game is that you actually have to join the game, play the game to make money. And there's a lot of phases and mechanics that kind of makes a lot of FOMO, and then like I can't really talk about like how you join a game and all of that, but to give you a question, like that was the main feedback that we received from our users, and also that's what we are trying to improve with our next game.
You know, you said a lot of founders reached out to you as well. Talking on competition, I think after Addicted, we've seen a lot of people try to figure out or replicate the Addicted model or figure out some ways to create some sort of viral games. What do you think though why weren't they successful? Like what do you think like was the issue there? Like why Addicted, and why can somebody why wasn't someone else being able to replicate it? Is it the openness of the virality of the you're speaking about? Is it the game itself? Is it the concept of the game? What do you think is kind of the differentiating factor there?
Yeah, it's easy. Execution. Idea, you can still game. They were more than 5 wheat farming game after Addicted, and none of them succeeded. And also there were a bunch of people who's trying to replicate our game. None of them succeeded. Because you can still game, you can still ideas, but execution is the hardest part. And you can't just steal that execution. You have to basically know how to execute. And I personally, like, I'm an open book. Like, when people ask me how to go viral, like whatever the strategy we use, I answer like pretty much everything. Like, there's no single thing that we had out. Like, we like, but even like after like sharing all the insights and secret sources, still people can't do it. I think the execution, like that's the kind of biggest thing that is even really hard to help my friends as well, like, because execution, I just can't help.
Execution's the key to all of it. Again, your execution's one thing. Do you think also maybe you being so active on Twitter, building in public, going into this Web3 meta of building in public, is that something that you think is also a factor into all of it?
100%, yeah. I am obsessed with virality. I am really, really obsessed. Like, I only care about going viral. And I don't think I've never met a single builder in this space who's obsessed with virality as much as I am. That definitely like differentiate. Like, I mean, bro, like if you like, anyone can do it, but it's just like, and I fucking think about virality even when I'm asleep. Like, my fucking, like, I dream about going viral, like thinking about viral contents, and like I spend so many hours scrolling like shows. My brain is really I can't even watch movie. Like, I don't know, man. Like, my brain, I kind of like educate my brain. Like, I force my brain to be like a viral and dopamine and like, like focus. Anyone can do it, man. But if you want to do it, like, you really have to like all in.
Are you the guy that watches YouTube on like 2 YouTube videos at one time?
I don't not really. I don't really watch YouTube. But I watch stream and then scrolling shows. Like I just like keep scrolling shows.
Yeah. Hey man, back to the jail.fun. Let's talk a little bit about it. By the way, is it any particular soap that we need to know about? Like, does the brand or color or size of the soap, is it liquid soap, hard soap? Like, do we? What are the details on this kind of stuff, bro? Like, I think we need to know.
Yeah. So I can't talk about exact game mechanics because like I want to make the game fair for everyone who's not here. But I can talk about like the overall view, like overview of the game. It's a prison life simulation game where you control multiple prisoners to make money for you. And the way it works is that you set two prisoners in a shower room and you drop soap between them to mint a new character. And you can do a lot of things with the character. You can sell it, you can make money with the character, you can force them to work for you. There's a bunch of things, but yeah, that's the game.
So talk to us. There's characters. We've seen a couple of the characters. We saw an ex-president. We saw, a rapper. We saw a couple rappers actually. Does the character, like, is there a super rare character? Does the character play a role? How do we uncover which character? Like, what is I know, without giving the game mechanics away or any stuff? What can you tell us about these characters?
They are just like addicted. There's reality. There's a tier in those characters. And dude, when you pull like a high tier characters, dopamine hits, man. It's gonna be super fun. And I'm telling you, I think a lot of people will stream when they pull, like when they open packs and use their characters, like figure out what to do with their characters. I think it's going to be really, really fun to play, but also like watch people playing on stream.
Yeah, you mentioned that streaming right there for a second. Do you mind it? Like, tell me, like, one of the things with Addicted, streaming was hard because it was so quick, right? And you're mentioning now, like, this game wanting to last longer than Addicted because it peaked on day one. Is that one of the things to be able to stream Jailed? Will there be time or enough time for it to be a stream? Will it be 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long, enough to capture that audience and capture it? Or is it more clipping that's big right now? And clipping is huge, right? Is there a strategy as well, like on a marketing content, that you guys are behind the scenes saying, okay, we need to make sure clippers are big on this?
Yep, great question. Clipping stream is one of our biggest focus because again, our fundamental focus is going viral. And if you look at any viral games that popped up last year or like past few years, all of them were really good at like clipping. People just clip head out of their game. Like for example, Schedule One. Like I think like that. So like stream is good because you're not like letting one person to talk about your game, but like anyone can make clip out of it. That's why stream is really good. And Addicted went viral because so many people clip from and made videos about it on day one. For Addicted, it's gonna last way longer. It's gonna be more complicated. The game code base, the game itself is way bigger than Addicted. So it's really hard to hack the system. It's not as simple as just like buying coin. So yeah, I think people will have fun playing the game. And also, it's not going to be a passive game like Addicted. For Addicted, you can let it run and that's it, right? But for Jail, you have to put efforts on a daily basis. So I think people, yeah, definitely stream.
Let me go into another question here. Is prize pools were always part of the Addicted and that first season and second season of Addicted were kind of really motivating factor for you. Is in Jail.fun here another prize pool? Is that going to be announced anytime soon? And or is this a different concept that we're going to see?
It's going to be a different concept. Actually, we you're right. We spent 300K on just a single guy. We sent like 300K straight to like a single winner at the end of Addicted. We thought it's a cool idea, but it turned out that people like our players didn't like a game mechanics that just the one guy win the whole thing. That's kind of our biggest no, I wouldn't say biggest, but that was like one of the big
Big
learnings.
learning.
Yeah. So for this time we're not gonna do prize, but what people really enjoyed with Addicted was the experience of earning money. um
Yeah.
so yeah, like I think like that's kind of like what we're trying to focus on rather than like just set a price pool and like send it to a single guy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And I think like yeah, just giving the players back more than this time around, and having them interact. Let me go into my final question. Do you see a way of more community interaction? With jail, and what do I mean by that? Like, do we see people dressing up in jail, getting extra points? Maybe streaming from a jail themselves if they happen to be in Brooklyn and streaming from a jail in Brooklyn that, again, some people that are there might be in the game. Do you get extra points? Is there a game experience beyond just the stream? Is there in real life ways to compete in the game as well?
Yeah, man. I think so. Social was one of the things that we kind of miss in like like we couldn't like implement in Addicted. For jail, I think it's way more social game. I can't explain why because I will have to touch some of the game mechanics. But what I can tell is that I told you about the breeding mechanics. You have to set two prisoners and drop sub to breed a new character. And there's a bunch of ways to breed. And there's like a lot of strategies that you have to think. And but dude, like I think like this is like something that I think people gather up and talk a lot and share their strategy or whatever. Like I think, like these like breeding mechanics is where people will talk a lot and build a whole community of players around.
Yeah. Man, look, I'm excited for jail. Next week is a pretty big week. Invite codes. I think a lot of people in the chat are asking for invite codes. People are asking for codes. I'm asking for a code. How do we get some early codes here? What's the process here so that we make sure we're fair with the ones that have been in the chat? We got 1,500 viewers right now that are asking for codes.
1,500?
Yeah.
What? That is
Yeah,
crazy. Holy shit. Like I can distribute like 10 invite codes to those who's watching. Out of 1,000, 1,500 is crazy, but I'll let you pick. Like I'll let you decide, Judge, how to pick.
All right.
But
yeah, I'm watching the chat because everybody's been chatting. Everybody's wondering if you're actually in jail because of the video quality. And I keep telling people I'm feeding the meter so that every time you freeze, I put more money in so that the quality gets improved. So people were asking if you're actually from your seeker phone. And I said, actually he hasn't claimed a seeker token yet. That's why he's still on the flip phone. But once he claims seeker phone, he'll be able to get a better video quality. And look, at the end of the day, you're being nimble about the way you spend money, so that's why the Wi-Fi is not that great.
Yeah, man. My bad, man. My bad, man. Next time I'll book a private space where I can use like high-speed Wi-Fi. I'll promise. I'll promise. But yeah, thanks for having me on, and also thanks for everyone who's listening.
Yeah, totally. For those that are listening, I see the chat right now. You guys are super active right now over these codes. We'll send out 10 codes. I'll screenshot the chat right now to make sure that I know who's been in the chat. We'll send you a DM with the codes. I see a couple of you guys that have been really from the beginning of this stream. And once again, man, Tuna, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on. Man, I'm really excited for next week. Really excited for these keep teasers coming out, and really excited to see the success that you guys are having and keep building on the success. So to you, see you next week. Codes. And oh, by the way, Amazon has these jailed suits for like $89. Should I be buying one right now?
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe we can just like pull up with a prisoner costume next time. But yeah, I actually did buy one of those when I went to before going to Breakpoint. I paid like probably $20.
All right. Hey, I just want to try to figure out how to get as much extra credit as I can.
Yeah, well, that's a big point, man. That's a big point if you actually have your own like prison uniform.
Hey, might even stream from the local jail here, man. You never know.
Never know.
All right, Tuna. You have a great day, man. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you sharing the alpha. Appreciate you just telling us a little bit about how it is to build in Web3 and why Solana, why you're here, why you're doubling down even further. And we're excited for jail.fun and seeing the virality keep going viral.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, George, for everything. Thanks, everyone.